Hi everyone. In this session, we are going to have a look at context engineering from the perspective of product manager or the product leaders. Before we deep dive into how we can leverage the context engineering feature from any LLM model, before we need to understand the definition for the same. So let's have a look what exactly we interpret from these terminologies. We can understand there are different phases for a product manager or product leader when he pitch an idea into the market. We initially start from the discovery phase. There we need to understand what offers we have in the market from the perspective of the product that we are trying to pitch in, and what are the prior arts. So basically, it's more like a discovery phase where we need to do the research work and understand where do we stand in the market. Are we the late entrants to the market? What is the growth opportunity? What is the cost opportunity? And how much it would be right and what to launch the similar product that's in ideation state, and what are the business outcomes that we can anticipate, and what could be the KPIs. From the product manager perspective, this discovery phase basically intend to understand the feasibility of the product that in the ideation state from the engineering perspective, and also the viability from the perspective of the company, of the organization. So viability from the company, technical feasibility for engineering are the two high level points that a product manager intend to understand by doing the research for the given use case. So now in this we are trying to understand how we define a wrong in the right context for LLM. In other words, how do we make an LLM engine or the AI, to keep it simple? How do we make an AI agent to understand what a person or we as a client are asking for the response? What how we should write our query, to keep it simple. So if you see here, for example, we are asking we are asking or we are putting a query against an LLM or an AI agent. We can't give some vague goal, or we can't mention, we are not specifying ignore compliance or the user needs. We have to be clear on this prospect. We need to be clear on what product we are looking for, what are the user persona, for which segment of user we are looking the product about, and what is the problem statement. And we need to be regulated on context. In other words, we can say we need to be very specific for which target audience we are asking for the idea or an LLM to suggest the response. So if we further classify, it's like we need to be clear on user persona. Persona in other terms, for which type of user segment we are asking. Are the users in the picture are confined to be technical users or tech savvy users, or the young generation or kids, or is it for some specific industries users or labor class user? This is the classification of the user. Then we have to understand on what exactly we are asking for the product to cover. We need to understand the gaps we are looking for, and not only an high level walkthrough we can ask the AI to give. This will be giving us very vague response. So, and we need to give market context, considering we are asking for or we are looking to get understand the market opportunity, but we need to be very specific which market context we are talking about. Is it for the heavy industry, for soft good industry, for the white goods industry, or is it for the software or web-based industry? All context with respect to market should be one of the things we need to specify in our query. And also the workflow. If we say, okay, please provide me an open oversimplified workflow, that doesn't make sense to LLM. However, we are very concise from our end, and if we say we need a real 6-step enterprises data certification workflow, so we are specifying Number of steps we specify the context of the data certification. Similarly, if you go to next one, here we are not specifying any constraint. When we make a query, we need to specify the constraint also, like are we looking, please consider the security and the compliance constraint. Because since LLM is not, at the moment we are talking, LLM is not having any compliance or the governance body, but still we need our LLM to be responsible and compliant to outliers. So we need to understand it should be ethically correct, it should be responsible AI. So we need to specify the compliance and the constraints or the guardrails, to be very precise. And also very important is we need to specify on which KPI or on which business values we are looking for the response. So we need to specify, like for example, if you're looking for data certification, uh, we need to say we want reduction in the certification time and escalation should be less, and that and same as a defect. So accordingly, whichever models or LLMs are relevant in these specific field contexts, be it with data certification or looking for the data quality checks, the LLM or the agent we are asking for will be able to give us the precise response. So if you quickly see the use case here, if you are using perplexity and let's say given big prompt here, we can ask, okay, let's say create me the, or we can say show me the high level, show me the 5 pros and cons for Microsoft launching Purview product. Now here what we have done, we have specified the product and pros and cons, but we are not specifying for which persona and in which KPI level we are looking for. So it has given us a response as pros and cons. If you see here, this is with the default context, like with respect to the licensing or with respect to the cost, the operational cost and scalability perspective it has given. Now LLM is very smart to ask what exactly we are looking out. It's giving us more further fine grained context, like do we want specific to understand from the licensing and pricing prospects. However, we can improvise this prompt itself, and thus we'll give see how we are making use of the context here. Let's see. We say show me the 5 pros and cons for Microsoft launching Purview product with highlighting the key KPIs as compliance, security, and revenue, and what more we can say. So here we are specifying the context basically, and different user persona. So we'll see we have changed the context to further break it down into different checks. So if you see here, it's showing us the KPI focus, what the value it's bringing in. Then from the data security, it's giving us exact detail, like they are using the customer key double key encryption. And if you see it further, The basic idea is like it's breaking into different contexts, cost analyzing opacity. This help us to the discovery in a detailed phase, what we are checking for, the opportunity cost at the level at which KPI. So, or we can give a more structured response, structured prompt. How what more we can do is we can ask the prompt itself to write us a detailed context specific query that we can put to LLM to give us the response in the discovery phase for product manager. So let's check it out. So we can say, please create me a prompt that product manager should have given to get the discovery phase done for micro soft purview with guardrails specified and KPIs in matrix form. This will help us understand how precisely it will give us the response, and it's easy for us to come up with the matrix also. This is how we can leverage an AI. See here, it's giving different personas, and then it's giving us what exactly we need to understand. How do we need to check with the cross-functional team? What they would have done in their case for while defining the purview product that's specific to data governance, and it's specifying the guardrails for the discovery and specifying the KPIs as well. That is of high importance for any product manager to draw the or to project the business value if an idea move from ideation to implementation. This is what I had intention to cover today. I I hope this helps us to get an idea on what exactly the context is for the product manager and how we can leverage that for our daily tasks. Hope to catch you soon in the forthcoming videos. Thanks for being there.